I'm here again with Bryce like last year. Thanks for taking the time, man.
Good to see you.
And we're here to talk about WWE 2K16. And I have some questions for you, asked from our WrestlingGames.de community. And the first question it concerns the feature Create a Show, which was mentioned by the IGN article that came out yesterday. And my first question is, what is meant by Create a Show? Is this a story editor from 2K14, or what is it?
So Create a Show is one of the great creation features that we're bringing back to 2K16. So last year, some of the creation features that people really liked weren't in the game, so we're bringing them back, right? Create a diva, create your own title. Create a Show is one of the new additions as well. Create a Show is like, when you watch WWE program, there's not just what goes on in the arena. It's all the production elements, right? So your matchup screens, graphics that you see, like the matchup screen for Raw looks different from the one from WrestleMania, right? So people have the ability to create those and then be able to share those out. But it's that way you can always update your game. So if the graphics will change on WWE TV, you can update them as well, so that you have the latest and greatest.
So it's an editor for the graphics and not the story editor with the options of cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah, it's like more presentation.
The IGN article also talked about ladder, handicap, and tornado tag matches. Are there any more matches that we will see in the game that haven't been featured before or in WWE 2K15 and will be announced in the next coming weeks?
Yeah, so we haven't gone through all the details of all the different matches, new or existing, but pretty much it's like every match type that you see on WWE TV is pretty much in there. So we think people will be pretty happy with all the different match types that are in the game this year.
You talked in the presentation about the My Career mode, and then there were many critics about it. So I'm one of them. And in your opinion, what do you think has been done right in the My Career mode in WWE 2K15, and what has been done wrong, and what has been done to overcome these issues?
Yeah, so last year was a great start, right? It's a great foundation that was built for career mode. It's a process, right? So like on the NBA side, the career mode is awesome, right? But it took a long time to get there also. So for WWE, every year we want to keep improving it. So last year was great in terms of telling the overall journey, right? You start in the Performance Center, you go through NXT, you make it to the main roster. This year we're adding to that so that you can have a legendary WWE career and make it to the Hall of Fame. But during the career mode, we've added a lot of the the out of the ring or the shenanigans that you expect in WWE. That was not in the game last year, right? So adding personality into that career mode. So whether it's post-match interviews or interference or run-ins to help build your character and also build your rivalries and your alliances with other characters in the game. But it's adding all those other elements that make wrestling fun is what's being added to career mode.
Also, in last year's game, in My Career mode, there was a point where you got matches until you had a new storyline, and there was always Vicky Guerrero telling you, we have nothing for you, creative has nothing for you, right? Is there something that has been done to fix this?
So just overall, the experience should be a lot more fun, right? So hopefully there's not... people won't be waiting around for creative to come up with something for them this year.
All right. So about the online mode, there are a lot of passionate online players. There are online wrestling leagues, but a big concern which I had, you couldn't do a public lobby for rooms to play. You had to be randomly selected with a matching opponent. Is there a better matchmaking mode this year? A good example for a good online system would be the current game Rocket League. Yeah, what has been done to better the online mode?
So the online just overall functionality will be a lot better this year. We haven't gone into a ton of detail, but the matchmaking system has been redone, right? So it's going to be a lot better this year. Less laggy. So I think people who play online competitively are going to be really happy with what they have.
But will there be an option for public waiting rooms like in the last gen versions where you can really say, yes, I want to play with that certain player in a tag team, which, well, at the moment you can expect that can maybe happen, or you can only make a complete private room, or you can make a complete public room? Is there a mixture like in the last gen versions of the game in 2K16?
So we haven't detailed, exactly how, like all the details of online yet. So you'll see that probably in the coming, between now and launch, you'll find out more of that information. But just overall, though, the online play should be a lot better than it has. We know it's been a weakness over the last 10 years.
Concerning the last gen version of the game, PS3 and Xbox 360, is the amount of bias of the last gen version of the game that high that you keep releasing a game that it's basically just a roster update?
Well, you know, the thing is, if you look at last year's game, it was almost evenly split between who bought the 360 and PS3 or PS4 and Xbox One, and there's still going to be a lot of people that buy 2K16 on PS3 and 360, right? So we want to be able to, you know, add as much content as we can and continue to support those as long as we have fans that have those systems. But at the same time, you know, they don't have the power that, you know, the new systems have. So those are obviously going to have, you know, a bit more in those.
Speaking of the last gen version, there's also the PC version that were many fans happy about from WWE 2K15. Just generally speaking, were you satisfied with the results of the PC buys and of the PC version from 2K15 and the modding aspect? Can PC gamers expect, for example, a WWE 2K16 release or maybe an announcement in the upcoming months or years?
Yeah. So the question about last year. So yeah, we were happy with you know, how to be able to bring the game to PC at all, right? Because so many of our fans, especially, you know, internationally outside of the U.S., people have been wanting a PC version forever. So being able to bring it out for the first time last year, we were happy to do because we always want to give our fans as many options as possible. Regarding this year, you know, we've announced 4 platforms so far, and then
so far.
Well, you know, like. It's probably not going to end up on the like N-Gage or anything like that, but we always try to bring it on as many platforms as makes sense.
Concerning Gamescom, what is the exact reason why WWE 2K16 isn't playable right now at Gamescom like last year? Well, there's so many bugs that have been captured and uploaded on YouTube, or what is the reason behind this?
So the game itself is in good shape. Like if you watch the video we had, you know, there was a few different scenes, but those were all seamlessly captured. There's not like editing to make that, you know, look great, and that's just how it is.
The entrances and match loading screens.
Yeah, even the matches themselves, right? The gameplay is it's running straight through. So the game itself is running great. You know, we have it here as a video instead of playable. Because, you know, we just want to be able to, when we finally let everyone get their hands on it, we want them to be, you know, blown away, right?
There is a current revolution in WWE about the Divas and NXT. My general question about this is, will the current era of NXT and the Divas will play a huge or a bigger role in WWE 2K16, and will this be represented with a lot of more Divas content, or like Create a Diva is also in it, and yeah, stuff like that?
Yeah, so the Divas Revolution, as they're calling it, right, it's great, right, because it's new, at least for main WWE program itself. It's been in NXT for a while. It's probably one of the best things going on in WWE right now, right? So we're very aware of that. So you see, you know, Create a Diva has been brought back to the game this year, and then, you know, the roster is huge, right? So over 120 unique characters. So we're going to be going through those names, superstars, divas, legends, very soon. Probably starting very soon. So you'll be able to see who is on that, you know, biggest roster we've ever had. So I think if you're a fan of the divas or the legends or the superstars, then you'll be, you know, extremely excited by the options that we have.
Speaking of Create a Wrestler and Create a Diva, on the PC version we have 50 CAW slots, and 25 CAW slots are for me not enough. Will there be a bigger amount of CAW slots in 2K16?
There will be a lot more than we had last year.
A lot more?
There's going to be a lot more slots, definitely.
Nice. Can you give us any exclusive information for us about WWE 2K16 that wouldn't be found anywhere else at the moment?
Oh, at the moment, you know, we just released a ton of information yesterday, yes, right? Yeah. So I was like the first. That's like the first time we released information on the game. So maybe not at this very moment, but you know, SummerSlam is always such a big weekend for us, yes, right? So you're gonna see a lot more information then. You know, this year's game has just a lot more, you know, as we always say, meat on the bones, right? So we're just, you know, great foundation last year in terms of the actual, you know, wrestling in the game, but you know, this year is adding so much more to it, you know, whether it's, you know, a lot more, you know, like the reversal system is much better this year. You know, there's a lot more personality, emotion, right? When you saw the video, you could see, you know, the expressions on the faces, right? So you could see like the look of either frustration or agony on, you know, Bad News Barrett's face. That's all new this year. a lot better environmental interactions in the game as well, and new reading positions, and a lot like the stamina system has also been redone. So just like in a real WWE match, right? It's like if you're going to put a headlock on someone, you are wearing them down, but you're also recharging yourself, because it's better. It's more fun to gain back your stamina while you're working a hold, as opposed to standing around, kind of walking around, hoping you regain energy, right? So stuff like that is just all designed to make the gameplay so much better this year.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is a pre-order bonus in this year, but we had a lot of pre-order bonuses in the last years, but you can still get those when you buy the game 1 year later. Why is that, and why do you call it then a pre-order bonus?
So we call it a pre-order launch exclusive, right? So it's
tricky.
Yeah, it's very carefully worded, right? It's an exclusive at launch, but later on, I think just like any of these items that are out in the industry, WWE games or otherwise, you see those items, go up for sale later on, right?
Community managers. Now we have the WWE 2K developers account, which is covering us with a lot of information. But in the last years, we had a lot of community managers, Aubrey Citizen, Marcus Stevenson. Why were there so many, or why would they leave WWE 2K in that kind of frequency?
So those guys have all been great. They've all been different, right? You can tell if you follow it, so you can see they all have their own style. Right now we have a guy named Bob filling in at the moment, but who works as part of our team. So we, the thing usually, so those situations, right? It's a lot of, we all loved working together, but a lot of it's based on location also. Like people were all living in different places. So we actually just had a new community manager start on Monday, and he hasn't put his information out there just yet, but he's someone that's familiar to everyone in the industry. If you're like, he's been in the video game industry for a very long time, and he'll be introducing himself very soon to everyone.
Okay, to wrap this up, one more question. There was an article, or there were rumors about the wish to feature as many recent guys like Samoa Joe in the game. Are there any plans about that? Are these rumors true, and what can we expect from the DLC? And the last question, is it true that you scan rather more superstars just to have them in stock and then see what guys WWE wants in the game? Or do you decide yourself what superstars will be featured in the game?
So the roster itself, it's a process between 2K and WWE, right? So we will come up with a roster list, and then it goes back and forth, and we all figure it out. Obviously we want to have the most updated rosters that you can possibly have, right? So I think when we announce all the names in the roster, you'll see that there's a lot of WWE stars, past, present, and future in there. So it's definitely the roster is going to be awesome. Like whether you're a fan of the Attitude Era or a fan of the current product, but you're going to have all different eras of WWE covered.
DLC plans similar to last year?
Yeah, so obviously we usually put that information out later in the year, but the DLC plan last year was great, right? Showcases, so not only did you get playable characters and the arenas, but you also got great storylines as well. So we definitely saw the feedback and results to that. So I think if you liked last year's DLC offering, then you'll like what we have this year too.
All right, thanks for your time, Bryce.
Cool, thanks.